Hi everyone. I I'm really happy. Sorry, I just got a good word from the Lord. It was really amazing. But I was like, okay, I have to record this now. And I thought I'd stop being, I could come down a little bit, but no, I'm just really happy. Still. Joy of the Lord. Okay, I'm Apostle Kenya. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me. I love it. I really do. I love it. I love that you guys watch these. I appreciate it, because he tells me to do it, so I just do it. But I never wanted to do YouTube, so the fact that you guys actually watch it's great. It's great. All right. Anyways, yeah, I want to talk about how Satan attacks our calling and our identity, starting from like when we're really young, right? And there's a pattern. There's a pattern that I noticed. Okay, so I wanted to bring it up because this could really help some people understand what's going on in their lives, or even like their kids' lives or friends' lives, or whatever it may be, because you know Satan hasn't changed his tactics here. It's still going on. So the way, one of the ways that he attacks the calling and identity of people is he will do the opposite of what they are called to do, right? So he'll attack them with the opposite thing. For example, someone's called to be maybe a prophet. He may attack them as a young child or an adult with sickness and illness in their throat problems, speech problems. We see that with Moses, who stuttered and he was a prophet. Um, Jeremiah was young and he felt like, young kids weren't really heard then, right? And so it can really it tries to cause some insecurities in people so that they don't want to approach people, trying to cause them to become introverts rather than extroverts, wanting to like hide inside themselves and not go and approach people. And you need to be able to do that as a prophet. You need to just be walk up with boldness and deliver a word, or wherever, right? So if someone's called to be an apostle, Satan may cause every time they travel in their life, or go on vacation, whatever, they're trying to cause that vacation, that travel experience to just be awful. Apostles are called out. They're sent ones. That's what apostle means. It means sent one. So they travel a lot and they build and they plant in other places. So, the enemy's going to try and make it so that they want to be a couch potato. They never want to get up. They're just trying to make them lazy. It's going to try and make them like, you know, love Netflix or something, you know. He's definitely gonna try and make so like I can remember, because I'm an apostle, I can remember most of the vacations that I've ever been on were awful. They're they're all so awful. There might have been a couple good moments on them, but I was never excited to go on a vacation because it just always sucked. It sucked. So, and I know that, and I know why now, I know why. Um, how about anyone that's in ministry, or, called to the fivefold, or just maybe just a minister in general? You don't have to be part of the fivefold, but anyone that's called to, to be in ministry, he absolutely sends a spirit of lust as soon as possible. And that spirit of lust will get these people to fall, the ministers to fall into addiction, causing them to become very selfish. Ministers have to be very selfless people. Okay? We have to do the will of God, helping others, serving others. And there's not a whole lot of serving yourself in that. So definitely many people in the fivefold yeah, and definitely struggle with addiction, and it could be in a lustful spirit, and it doesn't have to be like addiction to drugs. It could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be shopping, it could be money, it could be food, it could be gambling, it could be anything, it could be makeup, whatever. There's so many different things that you could be addicted to: phone, Facebook, social media, whatever. So yeah, he'll attack them that way, and he'll attack really young. All of this starts when we're like so young, because the sooner he can get us, the better, right? The more damage over time, by the time we're ready to walk out in our calling, the more damage has been done. It's awful because he's trying to form our identity when our identity should be in Jesus. And it's just terrible what he does. So what about someone who like works, is supposed to be called to work with children? You know, maybe send a spirit of barrenness. Maybe they'll have miscarriages, unfortunately, causing their hearts to you know, to break and grow cold and get to the point where they're like, I don't even want to be around kids. You know what I mean? Like, it's awful. It's awful. And I rebuke that in Jesus' name. And I really pray that if anyone's going through that, I pray, Lord, that you just open their wombs right now in Jesus' name. And I send healing to the wombs of anyone who has closed wombs that have been trying to have children, that love children and cannot have children in Jesus' name. Healing in Jesus' name. Okay. Business. Maybe someone's called to be a kingdom financier. You know, an entrepreneur. Satan might cause them to be horrible with money, may send a spirit of lack when they're really young and cause the family that they're growing up in to go into poverty, and they may feel like, oh, I'm never going to be able to get out of this. Like, you know, I can't. They may desire it because the Lord put that desire in their heart because that's what they're called to do, but they're going to feel like they can never get out of it, right? I'm just going to try to make it impossible for them to ever see themselves as someone who could run a business, start a business, hold money, manage money, be financially stable, and to be able to finance big ventures in the church as well, right? How about one more example? One more. Pastor. A lot of pastors get bullied. They get picked on in school growing up. Okay, that's because they're supposed to have a heart for their sheep. But if all your sheep are biting you all the time, you know, you're used to being bitten by these wolf-like sheep, then you're not gonna want to pastor so much, right? The heart grows cold, and unfortunately, so much healing needs to be done. So that is just a very normal tactic of the enemy. I mean, I've seen it played out over and over and over again, and I can see it so clearly when I talk to someone and they tell me what they're going through, especially if it's a child, you know, a young kid, and they're telling me what they've been going through and what their life's been like. It's like you can just automatically know what they're supposed to really be doing and what God has created them for just by what the enemy's doing. I mean, I can see people's callings anyways, but even if I couldn't, I could look at that and I could see what it would be. And yeah, I wanted to tell you guys this because I want you to use it as encouragement. I want you to use it for anyone, you know, if there is a young child that you know that is going through a pattern of things, and help them out. Let them know that this is a tactic. There's a reason why it's being done to them, that God has so much better for them and bigger for them, and help them combat it, right? People need help, especially the kids. But help them out. It's also for if you don't know what your calling is, you're able, you need to know. You don't know yet. You want to know. You can look back on your life. You can see the patterns. You can also look inward and think about what's the desires of my heart. What do I love to do the most? Couple that with the patterns that you've seen from the enemy your whole life. You'll be able to figure it out. Now, of course, go get confirmation and from prayer and all that, but you'll start to have a really good idea of where you should be starting off with the Lord and where you should be going. Oh, yeah, that's why I wanted to do this one. I hope it helps. I really do help that it brings encouragement and edification. Okay. And thanks for dealing with my giddy self in the beginning. All right. I hope you have a blessed day in the Lord. Praise Jesus and God bless you all. Okay. Bye.